Ooh, yeah. Come on, boys. Play me something worth sipping to. Here we go now. All right. Welcome to American Whiskey, where we talk about two of my favorite things, America and whiskey. So grab a glass, grab some ice, drink it neat, drink it however the hell you want. Sit back, relax, and let's talk about where the hell this country's headed. Yeah. Cheers. All right now. That's enough, boys. All right, let's talk. Welcome back to Off the Wall Studios. As always, I'm your host, Big Sturge, aka Anthony. Over on the other side of the studio, Dylan's not in. We can't reach him, but Uncle Joey is here.
Hey, I'm in Dylan's seat.
Ha, it's nice and warm.
Ooh. Microphone smells funny.
And as always, we'll go down to that place we're not sure where it's at, and we're going to visit with Austin. Austin, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good on this, what is today? A special event today, or somebody's birthday today, right?
El Presidente.
Happy President's Day from American Whiskey. All right, guys, we're back in studio. As always, I keep wanting to think it's like a Sunday, but it's not. It's Monday. But what are we doing today, Austin?
We are sipping two often talked about, rarely seen in the wild, Buffalo Trace products, E.H. Taylor Small Batch and Blanton's Original Single Barrel.
Ooh. Now, you know something that's interesting, right when you say both of those words, like both of those brands right there, everyone's like, ooh, ooh, you know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting. Are these living up to the ooh, ooh, ooh?
We're going to put in the tater files.
Well, right off the rip, I can say our Blanton's pour is small and our Taylor pour is heavy. You can tell which one I like.
Which one was on the left? Which one was on the right?
Blanton's is on your left.
Okay.
Taylor's on your right. I just looked at my pores. I'm like, yeah, I'm a little.
Mine's like that too. You should have went the other way from me. You know I love my blends.
Anthony's the other way. That's just funny. My pour. I was like, ooh, Taylor. Blah, 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 blah.
What a rascal. What a rascal. So, is there any history lesson here you want to give us on both of these, Austin?
I won't cover the E.H. Taylor too much. They've got, several different varieties. They got their small batch, single barrel, 4-grain, warehouse, their famous tornado warehouse. I think they've got, 12 or 15 different E.H. Taylors out there that you can get that have been discontinued. Kind of the more historied one here, and probably if we got listeners on here that know anything and about whiskey, they've probably been down to Buffalo Trace, they've probably taken the tour, but Blanton's is, Sazerac has the exclusive distilling rights to Blanton's. They don't actually own it though, so they distill it out of the Buffalo Trace distillery, and it's actually owned by a company called Age International, overseas in Asia. The brand was launched in 1984 by then master distiller, name might sound familiar, Elmer T. Lee. With this, the product is typically aged anywhere between 6 to 8 years because it is a single barrel. Each one of these is going to be slightly unique. The one that you guys have there in the studio will likely be a little bit different than what I have. That is true for every single barrel and batch that's coming out of there, because they do not blend these with other barrels whatsoever. They do proof them down to 93 proof with a little bit of water, but after that, there's no blending of barrels whatsoever. They are all pulled exclusively from Warehouse H, which is the only all metal rick house on the property. And ultimately, the reason why we know Blanton's as Blanton's was because it was commissioned to be built by Albert B. Blanton. They're one of their employees at the time. Something a little bit different I've got sitting in front of me. I haven't opened them yet, but I want to bring these in studio to do it. starting in 2020, Blanton's announced that they would be bringing the Blanton's Gold and Blanton's straight from the barrel to the U.S. market. It had only been, available in international markets before, but the Blanton's Gold is a 103 proof variant of Blanton's single barrel, and the straight from the barrel is as it sounds. The one that I actually have is 129.8. So I'd like to bring those in the studio, and we do all three of them as a lineup for an episode.
I really would love to try that straight from the barrel.
You're not gonna hear me
read
say
a lot,
no to that.
lot about it, and I'm intrigued by that one.
I'll be interested if Austin ever makes it to the studio.
I know it's hard to coordinate that, man. We got everybody coming from every direction.
Someday.
I'm just enjoying the smell of this.
Which one's harder to get? That's the question.
Between these two?
Yeah.
I feel like Taylor.
I think they're both the same.
I think they're both equally as hard.
Yeah. So, Austin, are we just going to do we're going to give it the the sniff test?
So let's, so a little bit different wrinkle. We like to do these from time to time.
Right.
But let's do our nose, our taste, our value rating. But let's rate it on two different scales. For example, E.H. Taylor in Ohio, before taxes is $45.99, $46. Its secondary price is $100. Blanton's everyday price is, essentially $65. Its secondary is about $120. So when we talk about value, let's retail value score, and then let's give it a secondary market value score, because that's one thing with these bottles. You got, the nickname is Tater Chasers. People chase after these like crazy, but will our value score really match that secondary price?
So in other words, you're saying, is it worth the $100 for the E.H. Taylor?
Yeah.
Gotcha. So are we going Blanton's first here, boys?
Yes, let's do Blanton's first. I've already swirled it around.
That one up.
We
always start with you, so why don't you?
I'm brown sugar, and my nose is full of brown sugar right now. It's got a nice. What I like about the Blanton's is you can still a little bit of the alcohol comes through, but it's not overbearing. It's a very nice, well blended, well rounded smell. I feel like it's not too much of one or one of the other, but it's sweet, it's alcoholic, a little bit of char. It's nice. I like this. It's
definitely pleasant.
Yeah,
sure.
It's definitely one of the more appealing to the nose. That's like more what I feel like bourbon should smell like.
I mean, when I like out of 0 to 10.
This is a high for me. This is 8. It gets a nice 8 for me, and me, I'm not a big Blanton's guy, but it smells really good.
I don't know what it is with me right now and the smell of molasses, but I get a molasses smell to it. Brown sugar, of course.
Yeah. I could see molasses. Yeah.
When you talk about fruits, I don't see anything. Maybe a dark cherry smell, maybe, but nothing real. It's just a real brown sugar and that molasses, maybe even a maple. I
could even say maybe a maple.
I mean, you're gonna. I knew you was gonna say that, but it's a 10 on the smell.
I know. Yeah. You're a solid. This is a big bottle for you.
It is.
You like this.
It's
for me to give it an 8, it's big because I usually am crucial on this bottle.
You are,
but I like it. But I do
it.
like it. But I have to say, my first bottle or first taste of Blanton's, I wasn't a fan, and then I came across a bottle and I liked that bottle. So maybe it was the bottle that I had, like we talked about. It is a single barrel unique thing. Maybe that barrel just wasn't for me.
So we actually had someone comment the last time. They stated something like, just because the legs on a bottle, like the legs in the glass, just because it's really has a heavy leg doesn't make it a good bottle. And I don't know if we said it did, but that just really has to do with the alcohol.
Yeah,
how strong the alcohol is.
Talk about how nice the legs were.
Yeah, but this one, like, you have nice legs on this. The smell's good. That's why it's a 10 for me. Austin.
So see, mine's my legs aren't holding. They're cascading down really fast on my glass.
Could that be your glass?
For me, I get tons of. It could be, but I get a lot of cherry in mine. Like, mine is overwhelmingly dark cherry. Maybe like a little bit of like a lighter pear as well. Mine's got a lot of fruit forward notes in it, but Kind of like what Uncle Joey said, there is just no alcohol abrasiveness. I could shove my nose in this and
Yeah,
just suck it in all day
Yeah,
yeah,
and not be mad.
smells
yeah.
really
You
good.
will. You
So
know what's interesting is like if this was a candle, it would be a pleasant smell. You know what I mean? It's just a
nice
good smell.
bourbon candle.
Yeah.
but I'm gonna give mine an 8 on the nose as well.
Ooh.
Like I said, it's solid. I would, and again, they all are single barrels. I wish mine had a little bit more to it, but it's like cherry and
So
pear,
when
and
you
that's it.
say a little bit more to it, Austin, what do you mean? Like, what are you looking
I'm
for
just
that's not there?
I really like, when I smell it, kind of getting multiple different notes. Not so much that it has to be, like 6 or 7 things, but like I said, all I smell is fruit notes.
Mm-hmm.
I get cherry and like pear. Outside of that, there's nothing else. I don't get any oak. I don't get any caramel, molasses, vanilla.
Of course, I get the molasses.
Peanuts, earthiness. So
Yeah.
I wish there was something other than fruit present.
How many years aged is Blanton's?
Anywhere from 6 to 8.
6 to 8.
Yep.
Well, Uncle Joey,
Yes, sir.
I think you already downed yours.
Maybe.
I saw you do it. Like, what is the rating and what are you feeling on this? You son of a.
Well, like I said, I feel like Uncle Joey's first bottle of Blanton's just maybe wasn't a good bottle, because every bottle I've had since then, I seem to like a little bit more and more. And I really like some of the notes I got on that bottle. It wasn't, the alcohol is balanced very nice with the sweet. I got the nice molasses, the typical brown sugar molasses, but it's just a nice, the char, the barrel age. I really like that. I'm gonna go 8 on the flavor too.
That's a high
for me.
rating
I know,
for you,
man. I don't. Like I said, the single barrel is a unique thing, man. I think Austin hit it on the head. Every barrel is going to be different. They don't blend barrels, and a lot of people single barrel. It might not necessarily be a barrel, but it might be a single batch.
Right.
It's the same batch, but it might not be the same barrel.
Right.
Well, and two, some places, they might consider a single barrel. Like you think a lot of times of the 200 liter or 50 gallon like drum barrels.
Yes.
So that's massive.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, look, it's a single barrel, but there's so much, they're oversized. So for me, with it being a single barrel, maybe Uncle Joey, you would try the one I have and not be as impressed, because mine, and this could just be me as well. I'm a high proof guy. Drinking this at 93, it's thin, it's watery. Again, it's very light fruit notes. I don't get any of the char that you were looking for. So maybe I didn't get the best single barrel, but I give it a 6.
So maybe if you smoked an old fashioned with this, you'd really like it.
Potentially. It's too thin for me at 93, I guess. I don't know.
When
it is crazy that it's that hot of a bottle. Like, people are after it, and it's 93. To me, that seems.
Yeah.
So my idea of that is so different than your guys's, because to me, I do not judge a bottle of whiskey off of the heat content. Like my dad. Huge. If it's not hot, don't put it in his glass.
You told me about this.
Like he wants
to feel it.
Yeah, if it's 132 proof, he's gonna love it. But I have always tended to not. I mean, I drink high proof. You know that.
Yes, but I have to say, when I've had the higher proofs, are like
not typically.
Yeah.
I'd rather have an 80 to 93 proof. I always have had that. So with that being said, this is a 9.5 for me, because I think to me, I know this is weird, because both of you said opposite of this, but there is a slight burn to it. It's not lingering, but when I swallow it, I get that little bit of heat, but to me, it's not uncomfortable.
No.
It's not that hotness. What you guys like, that one Jack Daniels that to me is just
the
like
gold
coffee.
label.
And to me, it's hot, and I can't do it.
Probably Stag would be. If you had, I need to bring my bottle of Stag.
I like the Stag because I like the flavor of it, but it's hot.
It's hot. My bottle's hot, man.
This here, between the smell and the taste, it's just, this is a really great bottle. And I don't know if we're ready to go on to price yet, Austin, but for the value.
This would be great if this was available a lot.
What was it on the secondary market?
This one on the secondary market is about $90 to $100. So
Can I
before that,
go ahead?
So figure double. It's $46 before taxes in the store. Call it 55-ish after taxes. So secondary market's about double. So what's your grading, Uncle Joey, on it's retail value, and how does that score change if you had to get this at secondary, because it is so hard to find one of these on the shelf.
So that's a good one with me, because retail, I'm all for the retail price. It's not very accessible, but it's accessible. I mean, if you're willing to do the work, you can get some of these bottles, and at the
you're
price,
willing to drive to Buffalo Trace,
or you're willing to be some of these places and stand in line a couple hours in the morning or sit in your car or whatever. It's worth the money. I now, the longer I've drank it and the different bottles that I've had, I would say if I go to Wineworks this Saturday and would stay in my car for a few hours and they would hand me a bottle of Blanton's, I am not going to be mad. I'm going to be pretty excited about it. So when you can get it, it's a great bottle. Secondary market, absolutely not. I don't feel that this is worth that price. If it's a bottle you've never had and you really want it, or it's a gift for somebody and you really love that person, absolutely spend the secondary value. But for me, just to say, man, I would like to have a bottle of Blanton's, I'm going to go drop that. No, I don't. I don't think this bottle's worth it. I don't think a lot of the bottles are worth it. Now, have I ever paid that? Yes, I have.
Right.
But it's only because I was a Taylor fan. I wanted a bottle of Taylor. I had one bottle. I couldn't get another one. I said, you know what? I know a guy.
But you're saying Blanton's not worth it.
I don't think any of them are, to be honest with you.
So would you say, as far as also, are we rating the store value?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like
yeah. So what
store value? I give it a solid.
I give it
a solid A to store value. I think it's worth every penny of what you're getting.
Okay. And a zero.
I don't agree with the secondary price on that. Yeah, I just the secondary. I've used it, but I'm against it in a big way. It hurts. They gouge, man. They hurt you.
And I agree with it being a good deal in the store. It's a 10 for me. But here's the thing for me.
I know what you're about to say.
My time is valuable.
Oh yes.
When I have to wake up at 6 a.m. and I'm not there to help with my kid, like, it's all valuable. Like my time is so valuable, in my opinion, that if I have to sit there for 3 hours to wait for my chance to buy one, not even know for a fact you're going to get one, you're going to wait for that chance. I am going to buy this every single time for $100 to save my time. So to me, it's a 10 in the store. It's like a 7.5 for 100, because it's such a quality bottle for me. Uncle Joey, I'm going to give you $100 bill for this bottle.
This has been his bottle for a long time. Yeah,
so,
he likes this.
But I can, and I don't know if it's conceit. I don't know the right word. I don't know if it's selfish of me to value my time like that, but
absolutely not.
It's
no.
To me, it's just not. I'm not gonna wait in line for 3 hours for it. It's just I just can't do that. So, but yeah, if you see it on the shelf, guys, for what is it, 53? You said?
Yeah, 56.
So I was saying the E.H. Taylor price. So it's 65 on the shelf and 110 secondary. So I was reading the E.H. price, not the Blanton's price. So apologies on that, but still, you're talking less than double.
Okay.
Either 65 or 110.
So Austin, if you see Blanton's on the shelf, is it a good value to you?
So at 65, I mean, it's a good value. For being a single barrel, the uniqueness, it's always quality. At the end of the day, even though it's a little, and to the point of, it's not the low proof that I don't like, it's the watery consistency of this particular one. Because I've had other 90 and 95s that are a lot more viscous.
Okay.
I like that, that thicker,
lingering.
Oily,
you like the lingering of the whiskey.
Yeah, I like that thicker, oily mouth feel from my whiskeys and bourbons. This just didn't have that to me.
Let me ask you a quick question. That Jack Daniel's Gold Label single barrel has a unique mouthfeel. Do you get that also?
Yeah.
It's okay. Just it's a very, and I get what you're saying. It's a very unique feeling. It's oily or dry. Okay, all right.
Exactly, and it hangs on. So I mean that to me, like I said, I mean, I'm not not necessarily chasing things that are above 120, but the things that tend to be more dense, viscous is usually that 105 to 115 range. That's tends to be my sweet spot. I've had plenty lower proof that are, but this one is not to me. So this doesn't give me the mouthfeel I really look for in a whiskey or a bourbon. That said, at 65 bucks, if I see it on the shelf, I'm grabbing it all day. It's a 7 on value. At secondary market, I'm still not going as big a swing as you are, Uncle Joey. I'm still going to give it a 3 because I'm in that line with Anthony where, 65 bucks in the store. If I had to have it and it was 110 and I couldn't get it in the store, we're talking a $45 difference. 2 hours of my time is worth more than $45. I can be doing something at home with my family,
right.
at work. So
See,
I still
and
have
your kids are grown, so it's different.
And this is where you and Anthony differ from my life, and I'm with you.
Yeah.
If my kids were younger, I would be with you guys 100%. I actually do my wife a favor if I go bourbon hunting on Saturday mornings because she gets to sleep in. Probably. Yeah, she gets to sleep in. So I'm up. I'm not doing anything. I might as well go. So to me, that's wasted time for me. I'm up in the house by myself, like. So yeah, I have no problem doing the sit for the bourbon. But yes, you guys, children, sports, fuck that. You guys have shit to do.
Yeah.
Even then, I'd blow money twice. I'd go golfing and drop 60 bucks there.
Yes,
into this bottle. I got to work on that, 40 handicap I got out there. So
you got to pay 60 bucks to work on it.
You got to put in the work, man.
I think when it comes down to it, though, guys, I think as far as like in-store shelf, I mean, we all agree this is a great bottle if you can get it.
If you can get it, yep.
And you can, I mean, if most of our listeners are from here, around here or the surrounding states, so we're really not that far away, depending on where you're at. I mean, you can go there and possibly get you a bottle.
Yep.
Limited one per 4 months.
We need to make a trip on a Saturday soon. I'm out of jail. I can get anything.
I'm doing that. Let's go.
I'm down.
So next bottle we're trying.
Ooh, Uncle Joey's fave.
You love this.
There we go.
Colonel E.H. Taylor.
Did you drink yours already?
No, but I'm over here working on it.
He still has some in his
I'm over here sipping
glass.
on it. I believe this is a 100 proof bottle.
Yes, sir. Bottled in bond.
Yes, this is a bottled in bond. Yes.
Just so I can try both of them.
The age statement is.
Anybody get apples on this?
You know what's really crazy? I left a little bit of Blanton's in here.
Yeah.
And now, when I smell this, and then I smell the Blanton's, I can really smell the cherries.
Oh, I bet. Because this is more alcohol.
And now I can see where he's saying when he says it's a little bit flory, like it has a floral, like sweetness to it. Now I can smell it in this Blanton's. Now
I feel like in the Taylor, you have some brown sugar. I have some molasses, but I also have a higher alcohol. Yeah. Got a little heat in the nose.
All right, rate it for us.
I get a lot of green apples on this. Honestly, that's like one of the first things I.
That's a perfect way of explaining that.
On the Taylor.
Yeah, like that's super to me. Super
like
green apple.
Smith style.
I get you. I'm hold on. Let me swirl this around.
I've never agreed with you so much in my life except for that comment right there. It was a green apple, like biting into a green apple. It's very, very, very pleasant.
I'll give you some apple. Maybe green. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's really I get some floral in there and green apples. That's really all I get out of this. I don't get anything else.
It's almost boring to me.
Boring. It is because it's so overpowering in the nose.
It's just like a 2-smell thing for you. It's just kind of
it's a quick hitter.
Okay. You know what? Maybe a green apple. I could give you a little bit of that.
What's your rating on the smell, Uncle Joey?
Well, this is kind of. I'm gonna give it right there with the Blantons, man. It's not to me. Well, you know what?
I like the color of it.
It's very dark. I like the color. What's the age on this bottled in bond?
There is no age statement. Being a bottled in bond, all we know is it's at least 4 years.
It's at least 4. But it's got the mouthfeel of some heavy.
Of what? Mouthfeel of what?
Yeah.
It's got some mouthfeel of some age. It's got viscosity to it.
It's
Why'd you
definitely
look
got
at me
better
like that?
legs.
I was
I know. You look at me across the microphone there. This is a 9. To me, this is a 9.
Nine. All right.
wow,
I
really?
like it on the front. I like the alcohol. It comes in strong at the 100 proof, but not too strong.
I just hope I'm not alone here. Austin,
Anthony's not a fan.
Austin, I'm letting you go with it now.
Anthony's not a big fan.
What'd you rate the smell?
I'm giving it a 7. I mean, it is very one-dimensional. The green apple's so overpowering, but it is still a very nice nose. The alcohol is not excessively strong to me, so I appreciate how forward the nose is. It's not something that I really enjoy smelling a lot, but I've had a lot of other whiskeys that you smell and all you smell is alcohol. So I appreciate that it does have such a present nose. So 7.
I'm giving this 6.5. It's a good smell, but I smell two things, and those can all be inside of a sucker called a caramel apple sucker. I smell caramel and I smell apple, and that's the only thing that I smell with a slight burn to it. It's not necessarily unpleasant, but I'm not a massive apple guy.
You know what? It's kind of funny. Listen, now that you just put that caramel apple,
yeah, it smells like a caramel apple sucker.
I get a little bit of that. I could see a little bit of that.
So it kind of, now that because I've never drank E.H. Taylor and spent this much time sniffing it, so maybe we'll get something. But yeah, it's like a 6.5.
All right. Cheers, boys.
Cheers. I'm enjoying this. I've been sipping and sipping.
What's the proof on this? Because automatically,
it's 100.
I automatically say this is hotter.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. It's 100.
And it lingers.
Well, what's weird to me, this has a more of a viscous mouthfeel than the Blanton's, and it's age stated at 6 to 8.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree with you. I can definitely feel the difference. So is that the water that makes it feel thin? So do you think the barrel strength is so high that they proofed it down enough that the water's made it feel thin?
I don't think.
I think that's why the Blantons felt thin was how.
What do you say? How he thought it felt thin?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I think it really was the proofing down to 93 that made the other one feel thinner.
I get what you're saying, though. I get that.
Uncle Joey, give us a rating, though.
Mouth?
Yeah, what's your taste rating?
Oh, you know me. This is a 10.
I knew it. Damn it. I knew it.
The Colonel is a 10 to Uncle Joey. I have a bottle on the counter, and I have a bottle unopened on the counter.
Ready to be opened.
I'm always looking for another. This is my favorite. Out of the Buffalo Trace lineup, this is Uncle Joey's favorite. This is my bottle.
Anthony, did you try a cracker or anything in between the two?
Damn it.
Peanut M&M.
We did that last time.
Well, so I put a cracker in between. I didn't do it initially when I was smelling it on my first sip. I didn't, but then I went ahead, did a cracker, did a little swish of water. It definitely brought out, because before I did that, I was going to give this like a 4. But after the little nibble of cracker, some water, I got a little bit of that caramel note. I still got still kind of appley, but I would almost say like a white or green grape instead of an apple. So like green grape, caramel, and some oakiness in there. So I'm gonna bump my 4 up to a 6 because it did get better after the cracker and water, but this is still not something I would personally.
I added a flavor to it.
Listen, I keep forgetting about mentioning this, and this is something I think we need to do to every tasting we do. We each need a dropper, and we need to add water to everyone and see if a couple drops of water changes our opinion. So
it will.
From here forward, I suggest that we maybe I'll buy them. I'll buy a couple droppers. I say we try this. I say we take what we normally do, and then we each drop a couple drops.
You know, it's interesting. When we went to Kentucky, my wife and I went 2 years in a row now for our wedding anniversary. And one of my favorite places to go to is Preservation Distillery. I think is how you pronounce, it's Preservation Distillery.
I think so.
It's one of my favorites to go. And they give you a dropper during the testing.
Yeah.
And it does. Stephanie, my wife, not a big fan of whiskey. She enjoys it when she drops a bit of water in it. So that's interesting.
That's the reason why I say that is that there's this old guy that stands in line on Saturday mornings at Wineworks.
Yeah.
He says he hates Colonel E.H. Taylor, but put a couple drops of water in it. He says it opens up, and he likes it.
So who are we on here?
Taylor.
What do you, Anthony, for your taste?
Me.
And you gave it a 10.
A 10.
So this is Austin. You gave it a what?
A 6.
Okay, it's a 3.5. Because I got the most. So I added the flavor sweet corn. When I tasted it, I tasted sweet corn.
Sweet corn.
Not corn, sweet corn. You know what I mean? Like, like not the moonshine corn. It was just like a really sweet corn. That I just didn't. It's just not something that. It's a little hotter, I think. Like it's definitely more hot than the Blantons, and I think it does have that lingering effect. Like it lingers more than Blanton. So maybe I'm learning about my own palate. Maybe I don't like it to linger.
Right?
I don't know. We'll have to try another whiskey that like lingers and another one that doesn't linger and see if that's what it is that I don't like.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I think too the linger of this is just a very raw alcohol.
Yeah,
linger.
like corn, right?
It's not just ethanol. Yeah, corn ethanol. But like I've had ones that lingered and there's flavor that lingers.
Yeah.
There's no flavor that
well, I think Weller 107's one of those. It lingers, but it's definitely pleasant.
It's not just alcohol and heat. So
yeah. I think price wise, Uncle Joey, on this shelf it's what?
$46 on the shelf, $100 secondary.
It is a 10 out of 10 on the shelf. Again, secondary. I have paid it. It hurts. It's not worth it. But I would do it. But to me,
rate it.
I would. Okay, Blanton's I give a 0. I'll give this a 3. I would.
So if you have to,
if I have to, it'll be punch me in the leg and make it hurt. I'll pay the 100 or whatever it is.
You just poured the last drop out of your bottle, and the only way to get another one is secondary. You're gonna do it.
But here's the thing, Austin. It's going to take it after like 6 months. Because I have my palate. I tell you what,
I'm too impatient.
No. See, I've grown to really like a lot of bourbons out there, man, and I'm really interested in and there's a lot of new bourbons out there. There's a lot of intriguing bourbons out there. So I'm to the point now where I'm almost fed up with having to do some of the things we do to get the bourbon that we really like. But I'm willing to try some new things. I've got a list of things in my mind. A mental note. Penelope.
Yeah.
Penelope, I'm coming after you. I want to try a lot.
Make that a we coming after you.
Yeah, I want to try a lot of them. I've seen a lot of things. And Widow Jane, I'm going to have to bite down hard on something.
Let's make it happen.
Widow Jane's
don't have to go anywhere. It's right here for you.
Yeah, Widow Jane's pricey.
Bring it down when you come.
Widow Jane's pricey, but I've heard lots of good things about some of the Widow Janes. So I'm going to start.
So I'm going to get back on the track here.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine because I will forget because I have dementia. And it's that. So
not Bruce Willis.
It's not funny to make that's terrible. And we even have a family member that it's terrible.
Dude, that and I think some of his is alcohol related
is it?
to
then we're
frontal lobe. No. We don't party like that.
No. We maybe for a year out of my life I did.
No, we don't have that money.
When I rate this on the shelf, I give it a 10. I think $46 is a really good price.
Yeah, that's a solid.
I mean, it's not my favorite cup of tea, but you're going to feel good carrying this into a party or giving it to as a gift or having it on your shelf like I do, tucked away in the back there.
In the back,
unopened. But as far as spending $100, again, if I have to, I'm going to do it because I'm not waiting 3 hours for it. So I guess if I ran out of that and I could not get it. Austin said if it was the last drink and you could not get it, would you pay $100? Absolutely.
I'll trade you 2 Eagle Rares for a Taylor.
Done deal.
All day long.
Done deal.
See, that's my bottle. That's my other bottles. That Eagle
you do
Rare.
love that. So Austin, what do you think?
So on its MSRP, I'll give it a 6. There really are multiple other bottles at that $45 price range that I like better.
Mm-hmm.
When you start talking about $45, $50, you start seeing some heavy hitters. I mean, Four Roses, Wild Turkey Rare Breeds 50, High West makes a lot of quality bottles. Bullet's barrel strength is up there, 50, 55. Maker's Mark, their special bottles start showing up. So when you talk about $45, $50, you are getting into some big hitters.
Yeah.
And that's this bottle of Heaven Hill
That's a
right in
good
front of me,
point.
$50. Yeah, bottled in bond.
Yeah.
You know what?
So,
that would have been a good comparison. This Heaven and Hill and the Taylor. That might be a different episode.
yeah.
Dude, we have
Battle-
so many
bottle and
bottles
bonds.
that are 50 plus in here that if you put that
Ooh.
bottle up to it,
I got a three-way.
It just doesn't hold it.
you said you had a what?
A three-way. Old Granddad, bottled in bond, Heaven Hill.
We're not going
and
through that right
Taylor.
now.
Oh,
We don't talk about three ways.
Anyway.
But
Then I'm going to want Skyline.
Secondary, it's a 0 for me. I mean, I'm
No one wants that?
not getting the secondary. I don't care. I will grab it on the shelf in the store. Honestly, more so like if Uncle Joey comes over to visit, I've got it to pour for him.
Right.
But
Yep.
if I buy
That's kinda what I was saying.
$46, it's gonna sit on my shelf and I'm not gonna drink it. It's
Yeah.
not one that I'm gonna grab.
Like, he's not ashamed to mix it with Coke. Pretty much what he's saying.
Yeah, absolutely not. I wouldn't heartbeat.
At least ginger ale. Don't use Coke. Use
I
ginger
love
ale.
Coke. Oh, before I forget, with my brain of mine, there's Gilbert out of California. We shot him out before, but he took it upon one of our episodes. I recommended Knob Creek 9-year. That's one of those bottles there that I think's a real gem for the price, and you can get it. And so he went out and got it. Prior to listening to our podcast, fellas, he was a Jack Daniels Jim Beam guy.
we
And so since
converted
then,
him.
now we're on Snapchat. We're Snapchatting every Friday. This guy's sending a picture like, what do I
Yeah,
get?
what kind of
So
picture?
he's branching out, but he really.
Hit him with 4 rows of single barrel.
Hey, that's what I wanted to do now. Real fast, Austin, is that okay? I just wanted us to give a couple bottles that you can get on the shelf for Gilbert in California. Cool dude. I play Xbox with him now. Like,
Hell yeah.
He's a
Shout
listener.
out, no shout out. What's up, Gilbert?
But he loved
Gilbert.
the Knob Creek 9-year. He said was phenomenal. And the only thing I could think of was like, oh, he likes that. Man,
Yeah.
like,
We got something for you, Gilbert.
dude, just on the bottom
good
shelf.
news.
Like, you know how many bottles on the bottom shelf are probably in your liquor store that are probably just as good, if not better? And I'll name 3, and then so on. One of them is, I don't know how relatively easy it is to get Weller's Green Label, but it's a $30-something bottle. I think it's relatively easy to get. That's really good.
Russell's Reserve.
Whistle
Russell's
Pig,
Reserve 10-year. Same
Whistle-
price as Knob.
Whistle Pig Piggyback 6-year is
Yep.
really good. And then you
That's
cannot go
$50.
wrong with any product from Michter's, in my opinion. So, Austin, go ahead and give Gilbert 3 that he can get tomorrow. He really liked that Knob 9. So, keep that in mind.
Uncle Joey, I'll save the RR for you. I heard you whisper it. so
Yeah,
I won't
sorry.
steal
Did
that
you say
thunder.
it?
Russell's Reserve.
I didn't hear you say it.
So I'll let you save that for your 3. But me, Rittenhouse Rye, bottled and bond,
Ooh,
$25
I forgot about
bottle,
that one.
fantastic bottle.
I got to grab that to show the video
fantastic
for you.
bottle. Hard to get in Ohio, but another great bottle, Smoke Wagons. Smoke Wagon, their entry-level bottle is about $33. Great bottle. If Anthony, Uncle Joe, if you haven't had it, it's a great bottle for $33. And then if I'm going to venture out and spend a little extra money, go up to that $50 range, Wild Turkey Rare Breed. The flavor on Wild
nice.
Turkey Rare Breed is so deep, so complex for $50. It is my not bargain bottle because it should be $70, $80 in my opinion.
What
It's
Rittenhouse bottled and bond though? You mentioned that. What a low cost bottle for such a good bottle.
Yeah,
Yes.
such a complex bottle. That's why I love it because it's not just a one note bottle. There is so much in there. So
Uncle Joey.
those are my
So,
3.
Gilbert, I'm going to go ahead and tell you anything that Elijah Craig makes is going to be a solid pick.
I forgot single barrel, man.
That's that
Anything.
toasted barrel.
Anything
That's
that
toasted
says
barrel.
Elijah Craig, Gilbert.
And I disagree
go ahead
with you
and
on
grab.
that. Toasted barrel is great.
Yeah.
Overpriced,
And then
overhyped.
go ahead and grab you a bottle of a 1792 small batch for like
There you go.
$30. That's a nice bottle. And then Russell's Reserve. That's a really good
Yeah,
wild
man.
turkey.
I forgot about that.
Anything wild turkey.
101. It doesn't matter.
101, Russell's Reserve,
And-
anything. And Cooper's
And the
Craft.
Russell's Reserve, it's a 10-year. You can get a 10-year Russell's Reserve for, what is it, Uncle Joey? $38?
I think at Kroger it's like 35, 37, 38.
So you guys ready for this now? Gilbert wants to. I'm going to be hooking up with him, and he's going to be sending us samples of some California distilleries, and he wants us to sample them and rate them. So that'll be pretty. I'm pretty stoked.
You mean he's
going
to send us some olive oil?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yes.
We're meeting up in person. What are you talking about?
Okay, yeah.
We love you, Ohio. We don't break laws. So here's another interesting thing: is I'm going to be sending him out some
olive oil,
some stuff that's hard to get too. So just so he can kind of grasp one of these, but no, I just wanted to shout him out, give him some more options for this coming Friday, so he knows what to look for.
Oh, he's got a list.
He's got a list. And we can
Elijah
keep going.
Craig, Gilbert. I'm telling you, Elijah Craig, anything Elijah Craig, you cannot go wrong with that.
I mean, there's so many.
Many.
Maker's Mark.
But we don't know what's available in where?
California.
California.
I mean, I'm surprised you're allowed to even sell it. It causes cancer, I heard.
Are we able to see like all the states listeners are from?
I can do that. I can actually
form?
I can actually break it down per country. So we're in like 6 different countries prominently right now.
Hell yeah.
Poland. It was like Poland,
we
Canada.
Might have some military guys listening
for sure. We got 32 or 3,700 listens on the interview, like 3,700 new listens from new listeners from our last episode on East Palestine. I did want to shout the people out there in East Palestine as well. Our thoughts and prayers are out to you guys. We've had a lot of outreach from that side of things. People aren't used to American whiskey diving into those kind of things because we're such a whiskey prominent podcast. But we here thought it was important. All of us thought it was important to share that story. And that's kind of something that I love to do. So, anybody that wants to reach out to us, if it's about, anything, just reach out. But yeah, we had 3,700 brand new listeners on that last episode. Hopefully is going to listen to this episode. So, but as far as states go, dude, we have all the states for sure. So that's
listen. I'm gonna go ahead and give a shout out right now. I just Facebook message him. I've got a family member that's over in doing some shit deep.
Yeah.
He's deep right now.
Yeah.
So Adam Zirkle.
Yeah, shout out to him.
Yep.
He's military.
He's doing his thing right now.
Yeah, he just had a baby, and
Yep.
He was able to be there for a week? Was it a week?
Man, yeah, he wasn't there long. Baby was born, and he came in town and rolled back out. He's serving America proud.
Yeah.
But hey, Adam, get your boys to listen. We'll drink whiskey while you guys can't. I promise.
Hey, we'll drink it for you too.
Yeah,
when you guys get back, I'll tell you something right now. We'll throw one hell of a party for you.
We got one for you here, Adam.
Absolutely.
I promise.
So we've had different messages I planned on sharing with you guys, but Dylan and I waited till now. We've gotten actually people reaching out to us on Facebook, which has been cool, through Messenger. A lot of people were like, I didn't know what you were about until I went back and listened to some of your other, and you guys, so people are listening. So we appreciate you guys. So, if you're military, let us know. We'll shout you out.
Yeah.
So I know Gilbert, he thought that was cool. We shouted him out the other day. So yeah, reach out to us. We'll shout you out all day long on this podcast. So it doesn't matter. So, and then the other thing I wanted to do, we've been getting some reach out on some ideas and thoughts for the podcast. That's open. We're open to that. Absolutely. How do you make a podcast better without taking ideas and thoughts from other people? So we're absolutely open to that.
Hell yeah.
So Austin, Uncle Joe, you guys want to say anything or?
No, this was great. This was a good last minute decision. 2 of my favorites.
Off the wall, baby.
Off the wall.
Yeah, awesome. No, I mean we had talked about Blanton's before, Anthony. You've confessed your love for it before, but we never sat down. We never sat down and broke it down like this.
He does.
So
he's got love.
I'm glad we came on here. It is. I get it. Like people, these are taters. Everybody chases them, but at the end of the day, if you haven't tried these, at least tried them. I'm not saying you have to have a bottle or 5 or 10, but if you haven't at least tried them, you are missing out, because I think the reason these are so sought after is because they do define what a bourbon is at its core.
Right.
I didn't taste anything exceptional today, but if somebody said, "What's a bourbon taste like?" I would point them at these and say, "Try these."
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you can, try these.
Both bottles are very solid.
Yeah, if you find them.
Very well said, too, by the way. Very well said.
So anybody out there that wants to get a hold of us, you got multiple ways of doing it. You can get on Twitter, America_whiskey, AmericanWhiskey@gmail.com, Facebook. And if you go on Facebook, you can find a phone number there now. We have a phone number that you can call and leave messages. I have 3 that I can't wait to share with you guys later this week from a couple randos. But they're not only funny, they're also very, very, very entertaining. So, but yeah, so we also have the phone number. You can get on Facebook. If you want that phone number, you can find it yourself on Facebook. I'm not going to give 3,700 new listeners this number. So if you want it, you got to do some research.
Dig for it, people. Dig for it. If you want to do some hatred, if you want to do some trolling, dig for it.
Oh, we got one that's a good old 3-minute trolling on that. So,
man.
But yeah, man, we appreciate everybody tuning in today.
Thank you very much.
I'm Anthony.
I am Uncle Joey.
And I'm Austin.
And we are America in
Whiskey. Thanks, everybody.
Damn it, I tried to get off without ending him.
Uncle Joey wants to sing. Hold on. I fell